for those with good taste.
Welcome back, Tasties and Taste Tests, to another episode of FTWGT Weekly. It's your boy Lenny, joined again by D33 Ray.
What's going on, Lenny?
And El Boy Grande Googler himself, Dante.
Interesting intro, but all right.
Very big Googler.
Yeah, Google extraordinaire.
That's you. And we are back with some exciting news topics for the week and the taste test. But before we get there, make sure to drop a like, comment, share, and also sub to the channel. Please, we'd appreciate you very much if you could do so. I wanted to rip with one thing that I just read that I thought was interesting right off the bat here.
Let it rip.
Please, I will. Chic Fil A, you guys familiar?
Love it.
Yeah.
Big fans?
Big fan.
Oh, yeah.
I've only had it once. Twice. Sorry, twice. I had it once hot, once cold.
Was it purchased for you? I'm assuming you didn't make the effort to go get it.
One time I went there with people
Okay.
and got a chicken sandwich. The other time we got them at work.
Yeah.
And it was cold.
Mm.
Not impressed, but whatever. Neither here nor there. Chic Fil A is moving into the entertainment space.
Okay.
They have plans to launch a slate of TV shows on its own streaming platform. This is
About
from
chicken?
This is from Deadline.
What?
Yeah, no, yeah. This is true.
Like,
Deadline's
what?
a reputable platform, so I have to imagine it's true.
I just don't understand. Like,
Well, I mean,
what
you have to
business
now-
do they have
Well,
in
you have to think, guys. Chicken Little.
that?
I think they could probably riff on The Last Supper.
They're gonna make a Chick-fil-A version of Good Burger.
That wouldn't be bad.
Huh?
That'd be pretty sick.
They have like they have a sitcom that's based in a church, and instead of little wafers, they're giving out waffle fries.
Okay. I mean,
We're cooking.
yeah, you are.
You talking about they're just gonna do a whole streaming platform to subtly advertise their shit?
And they will not be operating on Sundays.
Can't
Can't watch.
You can't even stream on Sundays.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
server's down.
Yeah. You are not allowed to consume anything Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, no streaming on Sundays. So are there any examples of what they want to get into this market with?
No, the only example is a picture of a chicken sandwich, the logo Chick-fil-A.
I can't even imagine like if this is a serious like development that they're trying to jump into. Like you can't just drop this announcement and have leave the people guessing as to what the heck kind of content you're looking at out of a Chick-fil-A streaming
I mean,
service.
businesses lane switch all the time, but this is like a huge switch if they're like serious about it.
Well, could you do something, Elmoy Grande Googler?
Si, senor.
Because I don't read articles. I just read headlines. Just look up Chick-fil-A streaming service for me. See if there's anything additional.
Oh God, this is gonna require me to read.
Okay, and is this a good idea if they gave out free like month subscriptions with like with your order for like the first month? That it's
Like
out?
winning a Wonka golden ticket.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you eating your mac and cheese, and
I
then all
think
of
there
a
should
sudden,
be like a purchase minimum. Like, spend $50 at Chick-fil-A and you'll unlock a free month subscription.
No, that can't be just a month. Then.
now.
You better
not-
give me like 3 months.
It's almost like how
Look at the character, dude. Chicken Little, dude. I was so spot on
I
that.
do see that.
I knew they would do it.
That's
dude.
that's Chicken Run.
Chicken Run. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Chicken Little's the KFC meal.
No,
Isn't it?
well, Chicken Little's the little like white chick who they play the
That's a mate.
they play the baseball game.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Oh, that's Chicken Run.
Welcome to the party, Dante.
I'm sorry, I was reading and like half listening, so like
Okay,
I
all
didn't.
right, all right.
Sound doesn't travel in the closet.
This kind of segues perfectly into what I wanted to talk about first here. Is Dante, did you know that Disney can legally kill you if they want to?
What?
Is this the thing about the person who died who
Yeah,
tried
so
to sue them?
I'm not exactly sure where. I believe it was at
Florida?
one of the Walt Disney World parks. There was a man and a wife basically eating a meal at one of the restaurants in the park, and essentially she had a allergy to a certain food, and she made it abundantly clear to the waitstaff that she had this allergy. Now, they completely disregarded all of that information and
because like fuck your allergies, dude.
and served her food that she was allergic to, leading her to have an incident causing her death.
And how does Disney get out of this?
She had a subscription.
So the husband then went to sue, obviously the Disney Corporation for a wrongful death, to which they are fighting back that the husband once signed up to a free trial of Disney Plus, and in the fine print, essentially agrees to any legal issues with the company will be settled in arbitration out of court. And Disney is trying to use that to essentially get out of this lawsuit.
That's sneaky. Makes you scared about like all the stuff that's hidden in those like terms of service that we all blindly agree to.
When they were writing that, do you think they were like, we're gonna get out of a murder lawsuit at some point?
No.
I think when they wrote that, they were like, this is going to save our ass someday, but they probably never expected it would be that.
And also, can the people at the restaurant be held accountable on like a personal level?
I mean,
like,
yeah.
should it just be Disney, the entity, that gets sued for something like this, or should it be like
the negligence of the people involved,
the person themselves,
and not the company? Yeah,
like vehicular manslaughter or something. Like when you don't brake for somebody in a crosswalk or something, to me is just the same as you being told to your face, like, I can't have fucking gluten, and then you pump me full of gluten and I die. I'm sure she had like a sesame seed allergy or something. I don't know. But like, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just as negligent, and
right.
It still resulted in somebody's death. So on a personal level, like, look, to be fair, those people probably feel bad. I don't know. But like, they didn't feel bad enough to take them seriously when they told them, don't give me this. I can't have this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Dante's allergic to tree nuts. I would never give him a tree nut.
Give him another kind of nut, but
I have.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. Been there.
Chill with that first. Oh, damn.
Do they give any stuff about the streaming service on there?
Reality TV and game shows.
So is it going to be like what's the one where they send the guy in to be like the dude who's higher up, and they send him
Undercover
into,
Boss.
Undercover Boss.
Yeah, are they doing that at Chic Fil A's?
They didn't give any specifics. All they said is family-friendly game show and family-friendly reality TV. Which, if reality TV is family-friendly, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, it's like John and 8+8. It's just like, it's a parent with like way too many kids just feeding them Chick-fil-A every day.
It's not that affordable.
Well, every day but Sunday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
The kids starve on Sunday.
Yeah.
They gotta fast.
Yeah, you've got to fast one day of the week, kids. Can't have it. Or is it like Super Size Me? It's like, can this person exist eating only Chick-fil-A meals for a year?
All right.
I'd watch that.
I think, honestly, you have better shot eating Chick-fil-A for a year than McDonald's.
Yeah, he died.
Oh, shit.
I mean,
that part.
Somewhat recently over the last couple of years, and not from eating McDonald's.
It probably had something to do with it.
I mean, I guess kind of like
He did say like that, like, destroyed him.
like similar to our off-air conversation, you know, the ideas of like vaping, like you don't really know what.
We were in another off-air conversation.
No. Where we guess we don't know the long-term effects of what like vaping can do.
Yeah.
Who knows what the long-term effects of eating McDonald's every day for a year will
thank
destroy
God
your body.
Morgan Spurlock did that, so I never tried to.
Right.
No.
Because I would have. I would have supersized everything.
Given the opportunity.
Yeah. I would have. They don't even offer it anymore, right?
I don't think so, no. Not
No.
supersized, no.
What a wild thing.
I mean, same thing like you go to Wendy's now, there's no more biggie sizes.
They have a biggie bag, don't they?
No.
That's the 4. Isn't that the 4?
Oh, the $5. I guess so, yeah, but they don't. The biggie size used to be like the super size of. It used to just be its like comically extra large cup.
But if like, okay, what's the difference between that and me ordering a large at Five Guys where they drop a whole cup full in the bag and then they still give me the cup?
Yeah.
Well, you're an idiot if you're ordering large fries.
Oh,
at
yeah.
Five Guys.
I mean, you get the small fry.
Am I an idiot? I just like the fries, guys.
But the small
but
fries,
a small
I feel like
fry
it's still
is
the same
basically
quantity.
a large.
it's not
plus.
the same quantity. They're using a small cup and pouring it in the bag and then giving you a small cup. It's a different quantity. I'm not arguing
No.
that it's a lot of fries, but a small and large are two different amounts, guys.
Understood, but like you get
Dante
the,
didn't understand.
you get the small cup, and it's basically the equivalent of a large anywhere else.
But what if I wanted a super size?
That's crazy.
All right. I'm
You're
being
not
fat shamed now.
You're not getting.
I'm being fat shamed on my own podcast.
You're not getting your value.
God damn it. I didn't come here to hear this today, guys. So what? I think about ordering a third patty.
This
and-
is a safe
Oh,
and
space.
getting
God,
a large
no,
fry.
No, this is an intervention now.
and maybe getting a grilled cheese.
And a hot dog. You know,
No, never had one of their hot dogs.
I have.
I've had
No?
their grilled cheese.
They're not
though.
bad.
Michelle swears by them.
I
Yeah.
forgot they had grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Can I
like
get a
their
grilled cheese and still get a patty in it?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. You could. I mean, I get it with bacon. But like their grilled cheese is just they flip the hamburger buns inside out.
Oh, so it's not a real grilled cheese.
I mean, that's how I make my grilled cheeses at home.
Thank
to be
you, Dante,
fair.
because that's what I said.
That's how you make them at home?
Yeah, I take hamburger buns and I turn them inside out.
Do you
Oh.
hear this, people?
It's thicker bun and it gets a little more crunchy on the outside. It's nice.
Yeah, but the bread consistency on the inside of the sandwich is all out of whack. Then.
No, you smush it down.
Yeah, but it's still
You
what
take your
it's,
spatula.
it's what it's made out of.
You take your spatula and you smush that thing down.
I'm not going to knock it because I haven't tried it.
Dante,
I get the logic behind what you're saying.
You've been in my house after I've cooked grilled cheese, dude.
It smells amazing in here.
It does. It does. It does. It hits different.
Well, that's just a grilled cheese. That's what
No,
that does.
dude,
my
this
man.
is a different aroma to it. It lingers a bit longer.
His house will smell before and after.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a week's
Well,
worth.
what's
on
the
it.
before?
I meant before and after I arrive.
Yeah.
Like if I'm here for a few
Yeah.
hours. I wasn't specific.
And that's just because of the hamburger buns. So
The
learn-
hamburger
learn
buns,
you
they
something.
linger more, I guess, huh?
But if you're going to be checking out the Chic Fil A streaming service, make sure to drop a like on this video. Thank you.
We waited this long in to tell him to like it.
I already did that earlier.
Oh,
Again,
okay.
you just don't listen.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Chicken Run.
So, Dave, I got a topic for you.
Yeah.
We did a review of a movie last week. Do you remember?
Borderlands.
Yes. It sucked. Don't watch it.
That it did.
Borderlands 4 officially
Mhm.
announced.
Yes.
Set to release 2025. Do you think that movie hurt the value of that video game franchise?
No.
I don't think it hurt it, but I think what they were probably hoping was that they picked up more of a customer base on the video game side. And that's probably not going to happen.
So I believe that the two audiences are separated, I guess. I don't think that how poor that this movie did is going to negatively reflect on the audience that buys Borderlands 4. I think if you're a Borderlands fan, you're a fan of the games, regardless of how poorly the movie did. I think that this game will sell and like be successful just fine.
Now, is the third game like an open-ended finish, or is this going to be just like they're looking for another vault?
I wouldn't. Yeah, it's going to be looking for another vault, or it might just be. It's not necessarily going to be vault hunting, but it's just going to be set in the world of Borderlands. I don't even know if it's going to be on the planet of Pandora. They might. It was just a teaser trailer, so we don't know a whole lot about this game just yet.
Do they introduce new main characters at all, or are we still just running with the same?
No, it's usually a new core group of people for each game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So different abilities and like
Yep.
things like that. All right.
And I
about to
don't
get
think
on
we
the
got
bandwagon?
into this a whole lot on last week's take about the movie, but man, do you know who Randy Pitchford is at all?
Randy Pitchfork.
Yeah. So he's the CEO of Gearbox.
Okay.
And man, he had a lot to say on Twitter last week,
Sure, it was all positive.
going back and forth with a lot of the fans and critics.
So he was being positive.
Oh no.
Well, so he was going back and forth defending or what?
He was getting very defensive about the comments people were making about the movie.
Yeah, okay.
And essentially calling out like these critics and then blocking everybody.
What was his point? Like, what was the gist of what he was saying?
Like a lot of people worked very hard on the movie.
That's
and
fine.
That,
they got paid too.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart got a fat paycheck, I'm sure.
He's
I know what he's actually referencing is like the smaller people involved in it.
Right.
But dude, here's the thing, like you make stuff like this to be judged by popular opinion, and you can't then tell us to not have opinions when you fail at your job.
Correct.
Right? And speaking from somebody who gets yelled at quite often for things that have basically nothing to do with me, it's just part of the job, buddy. Like, you just happen to be on a much larger platform to eat it, so people have to see it. But that guy also, I don't know, did he fund this movie?
No.
Yeah, so he's not the one taking catastrophic loss from its failure.
Correct.
Right? Like, you're just white knighting for people. I don't know. It's hard for me to, like, get with that idea of, like, yeah, like, I appreciate that people work hard. That's great. Doesn't mean that we should just fake our opinions or give things passes, because then there would never be a bad movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like ISS, I wouldn't have hated so much this year. I would have not spent 30 minutes talking about Expendables. You know, like, because I'm sure there was somebody, like a stunt coordinator, who was like, I worked my ass off on this movie. Speaking of things that failed in public perception, Dave, The Acolyte.
Oh.
Dead. DOA.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DOA on arrival.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely could have foreseen this. It was
I didn't see the show when I first saw it.
It was a pretty atrocious show. Like, I gotta say, I loved the concept of the idea that of what the story was trying to be, but man, so many just wrong decisions were made all along the way.
Is this the first Star Wars show to get canceled after one season? I mean, like, I don't know. Are we getting a second season of Obi-Wan? Like, was that ever planned?
I
guess
think
that's the conversation there. But
I don't think we're getting another Boba Fett either.
Okay,
I don't believe.
Yeah. I think I was lumping that in with Mandalorian.
Mando.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There was a lot of things wrong. I just thought whoever, like the writers in that room were just phoning it in. It felt like, I thought
they worked hard, Dave. Be careful.
A lot of the casting choices, I think actually the entire show's casting was just bad. Other than I'm gonna butcher his name, Manny Jacinto or something like that.
The girl wasn't good?
No.
I liked her from the 100. It sucks.
No. Just kind of landed flat. It was like the bad guy, Manny, his real name. And I will say, like, the stunt coordination and the fighting, awesome. Is honestly, there was like two of the best lightsaber battles of all of Star Wars were in this show.
Not enough to save it, though.
No.
So story over action.
Yeah.
I think at this point it has to be. It kind of goes back to like what we were just talking about with Alien, where you get so far into a franchise, and like Star Wars, more than maybe anything else that's ever been made, is so far down the line in terms of trying to expand the lore of the franchise, that you've got to have a certain appreciation for where it's been, but you also have to advance it in a way that is going to humor the most hardcore fan base of all time, basically, right? Like the most critical fan base, I think, of any that you could find. Like, they're not accepting. The Star Wars fan base is the least accepting of any franchise I think I've ever seen. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been wronged. So I'm not like, you guys work hard. I'm not trying to say you're wrong. But it is somewhat like, where's the line? I don't know. Like, and I've not seen this, so it probably is genuinely bad. I think the consensus is it's bad enough that they didn't bring it back.
I mean, yeah, I do you know Kathleen Kennedy?
Yes.
Obviously, she's the president of Lucasfilm. Man, I think a lot of people have been kind of calling for her to step down for quite a long time, and I feel I have to agree. Like, I hate to like ever like say like, hey, somebody shouldn't be doing their job, because obviously, like,
She works hard.
Sure.
Yeah.
But in this business of putting out media, like, if you're having this insane fan reaction over and over and over again to the projects that you are leading, man, ever since Disney purchased the Star Wars franchise from Lucasfilm, they have absolutely flooded the market with Star Wars content, whether it's shows or movies. The vast majority of them are going to have been negatively reviewed.
I think from watching enough like Nerd Affiliated and Hey Archer, like, I assume a lot of this comes back to toy sales. Like, you just pump out stuff like this because it gives you more stuff to sell and make money.
Yeah. I don't know if that is the model today.
Yeah.
100% that's where this stuff like used to be in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But I don't know. I guess I don't look at those numbers enough, but I also just don't really feel like I see a lot of that kind of apparel or merchandise being sold anymore.
I mean, I'm sure in the world where collectibles are at right now, that this stuff is all being sold. And I think the thing about the collectible world is it doesn't really matter if the property from a quality standpoint is good or bad for it to sell. Because I think kids will buy it, and then I also think like adults will find it like this. Now this show is going to live in infamy as like one of the worst like Star Wars properties ever, right? And any type of merchandise that came from it probably isn't going to get produced much longer, which then ups the value of the stuff that was there. And like, so I think that's why it'll still make money in that world.
Yeah, I think the one thing that has been the best outcome of Disney stepping in and purchasing the rights is going to be the theme park editions for like Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
At the theme parks, it's really
which
cool.
Again goes back to merchandising, and
that I'll give them is a really cool experience to kind of go walking around in the world of like Batu and like getting to kind of interact with some of the characters and go on some cool experiential rides.
I think that's like one of the coolest things about Disney since I haven't gone since I was a kid when none of this stuff was there, is like the idea of like going to the stuff, like even if you're not a Star Wars fan, like that getting to step into that world is just like awesome. Also like Harry Potter, all this stuff. Like I think it's the smartest thing that Disney's done is creating that experience that you can't get anywhere else. So I do think that's fantastic. When was the last time that like George Lucas was actually involved in any of this stuff?
I'm pretty sure the last 3 main movies he was like somewhere in the back kind of just consulting, but I don't think he has any actual like decision making power.
Is that because he's like sold his stake, or is it because he's just older?
It's because he's sold his stake. But I think as just the subject matter expert of like the entire world coming from essentially his brain, he probably has the best idea of where the entire franchise and like world or universe should probably go.
Do you think when you're in a position like that, and he was never going to be able to take the franchise higher than it had been, I'd assume, so at that point, is he cutting his losses and getting out then? But now that he's essentially hoarded out like his child, like the thing that he is most recognized for, and sold it off for top dollar, and it's just turned into like a merchandising farm essentially. Like, do you think, or like, I wonder, I guess, like if he looks back on something like that with regret, or it's just like, yeah, no, I made my money. Like that's the end goal for this, is to make something great, be able to sell it and get out and who cares now?
No, I don't think he regrets anything about selling. I think he obviously made his bag, which is awesome. But then Disney taking over, and even though I think overall they are doing a poor job when it comes to just getting good reviews, they're collecting negative reviews kind of time and time again. But Disney has the ability to expand this universe just based on all like the assets and money that they have available to them to just kind of draw up new ideas with multiple different writing teams and then be able to fund a whole bunch of new projects. That would have been way too obviously time consuming and draining on one individual trying to run the whole thing.
Yeah. No, I get that. It does surprise me, and this goes back to the video game conversation we had last week a little bit, where, you know, the issue with video game movies for a really long time was that they didn't stay loyal to the source material and almost thought they knew more like than the source material.
Right.
And it, like, I remember growing up and like walking into my aunt's room and she'd have a whole wall of books, and there was like 20 or 30 like paperback Star Wars books that are like all these different parts of the universe that have all this stuff going on. And it's amazing to me that we're getting so much bad content when there was so much stuff written for so many years that they could just reference and pull from. And instead it feels like they don't utilize any of it.
Well, so not only do they not utilize any of it, I believe before the release of I hate these new movies so much that I always forget the names.
Rise of Skywalker or
the Force Awakens. Before the release of Force Awakens, Kathleen Kennedy came out and said that all of essentially that print media of Star Wars is no longer canon to the universe, and basically snipped and cut it completely out of all of the plans that they were doing.
But like, that's dumb in a way, but at the same time, I understand that like most of the population you're pulling in now is never going to read those books or never has, but it doesn't mean that you can't reference the material.
If
like,
that's
stupid to me.
If that source material that is there already exists in the universe, has already been proven to a lot of the people who have read said books that love them dearly, and how it actually already fits to the original movies, like, yeah, you're just kind of cutting away essentially a cash cow of stories that already work. Now, if you can adapt those onto the small screen or the big screen, that's free money.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, like, you want to cut away, you want to just take the original movies and now make your own movies, and you want to essentially just cut and retcon things to make your own. And then, like you said, it's not staying true to what the original story was, as if they know better than we do.
It's almost like having the option of having an open book test and being like, I'm not going to bring my notes.
Right.
It's like literally that. It's which is the dumbest idea ever. Like, I'm not saying make your own stories, but if there's something that you can reference to make that story better, you're doing a disservice to everybody. And then it comes back to me of just being like, this is just a property that we make money from now.
Right.
Dante, I did have a topic for you.
Mm.
Kind of. So you enjoyed the show Ted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never finished it, but I did enjoy it. It's funny. I think it lived up well enough to the movies to get a show.
Yeah.
But they're currently working on transitioning the show to animation.
I don't know if I like that.
So season 2 of the live action series was almost canceled because it was costing $8 million per episode.
How? Oh, to like animate Ted, I guess.
Maybe that's where I have to imagine a bulk of the cost is coming from. Yeah. So it's costing that much per episode that they're exploring ways to keep the property alive. And one of the things they're looking at is an animated series.
I think, unfortunately, if they go to animated, I feel like that kills it.
I think if it started as an animated series and never did live action, I think it would have been fine.
I could see that, yeah.
Like, I mean,
it
like,
one of my takes of the show was it felt a lot like Family Guy.
I was going to say, like, they literally would have teetered on Family Guy at some point.
Exactly. Like, if it goes to animated, it's basically just Family Guy at that point.
But I do think like the idea or the premise of the show works fine in an animated version, you know. But I think that like obviously live action teddy bear is funnier for what it's doing.
It encapsulates more of the ridiculousness of it.
Yes.
Right.
It adds a certain element
Versus
to
like
make it
once it's
funnier.
animated, then you have cartoon logic and stuff just doesn't look as ridiculous anymore.
Yeah. But for how good they make that show look for a TV show, and I guess it comes back to is Peacock growing because of Ted? You know, and I don't think that that's the case.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's nice to have it on your platform and people watch it, but I think Peacock has grown substantially over the past like year and a half, and the reason it's grown is because they got the NFL playoff game, which bumped it huge. I think a lot of, for what it's worth, wrestling is as hot as it's ever been, and the fact that they've had exclusive rights to wrestling, like WWE pay-per-views, has been huge for them. And then also the Olympics. Like those are the things, like live sports, live entertainment is still the thing that's drawing new subscribers to streaming platforms more than it's a show like Ted. Like you're putting shows on there to fill out the month in between your next big live thing that you're putting out. And if your thing that's drawing people in is an 8-episode run that's costing a minimum like $60 million to produce, it's not worthwhile to the network to pay you to keep doing it, right?
Fair.
And like they have to find a way to kind of cut down on costs. So $8 million, yeah, when I read that, I was like, that is mind-blowing how much that costs. Because you just like, it's just the CGI bear.
Right.
It's gotta be, but like, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't get it. Okay. And I think this is the last news topic I have. So there, and this will kind of segue into the topic that we were going to talk about anyways. So there's some comments from Todd Phillips about the Joker 2.
Okay.
Joker Folle Adieu coming out. First of all, he talked about Harley Quinn. And he said that it's not going to reference the previous interpretations of Harley Quinn. So like the high voice, the accent, gum chewing, and like that stuff is not, they stripped all of that away, they said, for Lady Gaga's performance. Which in this universe makes perfect sense. But I do go back to like, why are we really doing this? Like, why did we decide to make a Joker movie that has nothing to do with Batman and then is stripping away all of the things that we know about the Joker and we know about Harley Quinn? Like, you could have just called this something else, and you're only calling it the Joker because it makes money by doing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed the first movie, but I agree. It was a really, really strange take and avenue to go down with the character. And then I guess just like you said, like, given what that first movie was, and I guess this little parallel universe Joker that we have, I don't hate the idea of like a newer rendition of Harley Quinn because it kind of fits a little bit more with.
You couldn't have done that version in this world.
Right. But
It's
yeah,
just that strips away everything we love about Harley Quinn, though.
In a way, like, and to be honest, like the thing I didn't like the first Joker very much. And I understand, like, and the reason for that is what it did this intentionally. I found everything unlikable about it, which was by design. And that universe is very grounded. It's very dry. And she would just stick out like a sore thumb if she was being
right.
Harley Quinn in that world. So I understand why you can't do it. I just don't understand when they first started talking about a Joker movie. Like, if you never had intentions for it to have anything to do with Batman, I don't understand why this needed to be a Joker movie and why this couldn't be about how somebody who already has mental issues, like, some type of mental illness, is affected by the fact that he lives in a world where everybody bullies him and treats him like shit to then turn him into a monster. You could have made that and Joaquin Phoenix would have acted the fuck out of it and never called it the Joker. And I think you end up in this place.
Kind of hit the nail on the head, though, it's the profitability of it.
Yeah, like the movie made a ton of fucking money.
And it wouldn't have made nearly as much if it wasn't a Joker movie.
Yeah.
That isn't that frustrating though? Like I don't know. Like I logically get it. I understand, but it pisses me off a little bit.
Yeah, because it also just essentially muddies the water of we have like everybody's complaining about like the idea of the multiverse in Marvel, right?
Yeah.
But everything that Marvel has produced all exists within the same universe.
Yes.
It is all connected. Right now, we currently have 3 different worlds of Gotham in terms of like movies.
Yes.
In the movie universe. You have this Joker and Joker 2 movie, which exists completely on its own. You have the Matt Reeves' Batman and the new Penguin series lives in its own world. And then you had the ever-failing DCEU, which is now also being rebooted by James Gunn.
And you're inevitably going to end up with, you can't do that again without introducing at some point Batman into that world if you want it to be successful at its highest level.
Right. That's just crazy mismanagement of the IP.
Yeah, and you're not even talking about the fact that in the midst of all of this, it's not like Teen Titans wasn't still a thing. It wasn't like Gotham wasn't at its tail end when like Joker was getting announced or when the Batman was getting announced. Like it's another property that's been hoarded out, right? And it's I just guess like no matter how good the movie is, it's a little weird to me that like we're claiming this is a Joker film when it's only Joker by name at some point if you're not following what those characters were. And so to that being said, the last point I'll make on this, the other piece of news that came out is that he said that there won't be a Joker 3. Because he thinks that they've told everything that they needed to tell from this world. I don't have a problem with that. The problem I do have is like wait till after the movie's out. For like to me, the success of your film, it tells me, it foreshadows some type of finality in this that like I'm happy to get, but I would rather not know before I see it.
Right.
So why 2 months out are we having that conversation? I think that's my gripe. Let's get into the topic though we were going to talk about, and I think it kind of correlates here. So we wanted to kind of throughout the year we've forecasted out the movies we're excited for, or like what's left in the year for what we think are going to be hits or misses, or what we're excited about. So we pulled up the list for the major releases we have for the end of 2024 that are still to come, and we were just going to kind of get a pulse check on where we're at because it's been a very successful summer. Does that continue? Does it fall off? Like, what are we thinking? I think the next biggest one we have, and it's not big, but like in terms of major releases, The Crow.
Oh.
So, I mean, like...
I don't know if I'd consider The Crow to be that major. Like, it's definitely something I was looking forward to, especially after rewatching the original.
But are you saying, I'm not saying major in terms of success.
Okay.
But I think it's a big budget movie.
It's something that people are looking forward to?
No, I don't think anybody's looking forward to it.
It's a cult classic more than anything.
Yeah.
Like, it will have its core group that goes to see it, and you'll have a couple of stragglers. But no, I don't
think people are going to hate it.
Yeah.
Is more my thing, but it's still a major release. Like, like it's a movie that's getting an IMAX release. It's a movie that they made with the intention of being good, and it's just failed. But people worked hard on it. So nothing bad from me. But yeah, so I think The Crow is going to be terrible. And then Beetlejuice is the next thing, Dante. Beetlejuice.
Well, there's also Blink Twice that comes out the same day as The Crow.
Not big enough. Like,
okay.
I'm excited. I like Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
I think he has pretty good range, and this will be interesting to see him. Like, they're essentially riffing on Epstein Island too. It seems like a little bit by the trailer.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's a no for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Beetlejuice is a yes for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you like the name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hate that they just said Beetlejuice. Like,
yeah, I get why they did it.
Okay,
but like,
I get it too. But like, if it's not I feel like if they were doing a third one, they could save that title for that. But like,
well, I mean, maybe we'll get there. They haven't said 2 months before the movie came out that they're not doing a third one. So
also, hot take. I think it'd been funnier if they called it Beetlejuice the second. I think that would have been funny. But we're excited about that one.
Oh yeah.
We think it's going to be successful, or do we think it's going to be on like the Ghostbusters
This is one that could really go either
like
way.
level?
I think it'll be successful.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the vast majority of people who have seen the first movie enjoyed the first movie. So
Again, I go back to Ghostbusters, and Afterlife did well, I believe, well enough to get a sequel. I just wonder how much of a carryover is it from a property that hasn't been seen in 25 years. I do like that everybody who was in it is kind of returning. In the trailer, looks solid, so I think it's going to be a good movie. So word of mouth is going to definitely help the nostalgia viewers to go out and see it.
I mean, you're also getting the same director in Tim Burton, where I guess I
don't know what his cachet is these days.
I guess I don't either, but I mean, if it's his property, it was born from his brain, so
that's a thumbs up.
I
think
trust.
it's going to be
Yeah.
good. We think it's going to be good and
I will
successful.
see it. Yes.
Okay.
I think it'll at least be respectful to the source material, which is definitely going to contribute to it being better.
Okay. What do we got next?
Speak No Evil.
No.
Don't care.
I am intrigued. It's not going to be a big movie,
Yeah.
but I think James McAvoy is a fantastic actor. It looks like an interesting premise. I do like thrillers, so I'm intrigued on that level. But yeah, nothing like crazy there.
Word. And then The Killer's Game, which I don't even remember.
That's the Dave Bautista movie where he's a hitman who thinks he's dying and then puts
Oh,
a hit
yeah,
on
yeah.
himself.
Okay,
Not going to do shit.
No.
yeah.
Not going to do shit. He is an interesting guy where he like has been determined to do real acting roles and is probably out of like your Hollywood wrestlers to transition the most legitimate actor, but still does like the spy.
I would
My
say
Spy.
John Cena is probably
Yeah.
the most legitimate.
No.
No?
The Rock guys.
No, but I'm not
Fair.
talking success
Okay.
because they're in a lane.
You're talking about like a serious acting.
Yes, like
action.
trying to be taken seriously in roles. Like Batista has done roles at this point that has shown more range than The Rock has in any point. I think Cena's trying, but Cena's more like, hey, I'm funny. People think I'm funny. I'm gonna just do whatever I can in that world, and I don't want to just be an action guy, you know. But yeah, I don't have much hope for this. Like it's in a long line of like. It reminds me of movies like Smoking Aces and like shit like that, and like that type of genre of action movie that will have cult people who really think it's funny and had good action, but not going to be good enough to make any kind of mark on the box office.
I think stuff like this is like that kind of like mindless action movie that I do like, but I don't know if it's for the theater.
You could have dropped this on fucking Paramount Plus or like something like that, and
It would have been huge on streaming, right?
Yeah, I would have thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Like an Amazon Prime exclusive or something.
Yeah.
See, but I'll just say I think this is the kind of like mindless movie where like I'll go see this in theater.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to see it in theater, but it could have been the worst movie of all time or the biggest, and I still was going to be there. So
Yeah.
that doesn't mean anything for me.
Unfortunately.
I mean, it's coming from somebody I've obviously like I do watch enough movies, but I don't clearly watch as many as you guys. Like I do pick and choose what I want to see. Like if I don't want to see it, like I'm not going to go see it just to talk about it. I just won't see it.
Unfortunately,
Respect
between me and Lenny, it's become a numbers game.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
So
Warhorse.
yeah.
I saw a thing about this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This popped up on my Twitter or my X. This is literally X videos. This girl was like got asked what's the most guys she slept with in one day, and she said 22.
One day?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
She said she dropped the location of her hotel room and just had dudes lined up outside.
I'd like to meet that 20-second guy.
Yeah. Like she said she filmed it, and she said in the back you could just hear people knocking on the door.
Ugh.
That's insane.
It's a numbers game.
Stop. All right.
Next up.
Yeah. Next up, Transformers 1.
Yeah, kids movie. Fine.
No.
I mean, I like
I think it'll do well.
Transformers, so I think, and it looks funny.
I think it'll sell toys.
There you go. Yeah, definitely will do that. I think it's probably gonna be good, but doesn't like blow me away or anything. I'm not excited for it.
Yeah. And then we just talked about it. We don't have to touch back on Joker Folie à Deux, but that's up next
Intrigued.
after. Yeah. Venom: The Last Dance.
I think this is going to be a disaster that I can't wait to watch.
Thank you.
So
we hate watching.
I
these at
still
this point.
haven't seen Carnage.
I enjoyed it. Woody Harrelson, I enjoy. I like Tom Holland doing this role. Like I get that the movies are bad, but like there is something enjoyable to me about it. The club scene, him just like dancing in a club. It's like very like Spider-Man 3. Like, why is this here? But I don't know. It makes me laugh.
Honestly, just the Venom character is hilarious. I'll watch it just for that.
Yeah.
Venom horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Him just wanting to eat people, like I think it's very funny. Like that, it's just like an ongoing gag through the movies.
And then we have the long-awaited Gladiator 2.
Tentatively, probably the thing I have the highest expectations left for this year.
I'm not going to say that I'm excited to watch it, but I definitely will go see it.
Yeah, I am legitimately like, if this is anywhere close to the original Gladiator, in scale, then I think we're in for like one of the best movies of the year still to come.
I think it's one of those things where it's like I'm not super hyped for it, but I am gonna go see it, and I honestly think I'm gonna come out like pleasantly surprised by how much I like it.
Are you guys gonna rewatch Gladiator before?
It's on
Yeah,
my watch
yeah.
list. I definitely have to watch it before. Yeah.
And I had a coworker yesterday who was absolutely blaring the Gladiator score throughout.
There's like two people.
The
that do that.
warehouse.
Yeah. Okay. Then I know who it is. What a weird thing to fucking play.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean,
Just had the soundtrack queued up.
the score.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's definitely not.
Whatever. And then we got Wicked.
I'm in for.
Yeah, I
that.
think it'll be good. I was saying this, like it's kind of crazy that we're still getting Wizard of Oz in 2024. Like this is property from what, like 20 something?
Yeah.
Like, and they're still profiting off of it
Well,
today.
the Broadway play, I don't know when that came out. I want to say some like mid 2000s, maybe.
Okay.
Absolute smash hit,
Yeah.
and still like sells out shows constantly.
I went to see it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, did you like it?
Yeah. It was the only like play or musical or whatever I'd ever been to, but it was really good. I liked it a lot.
I haven't been to any professional like developed plays and shows. I went to like a lot of just like kind of like college and high school shows
Oh no,
like
this
back
was,
in the
like,
day.
actual, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen like a solid production of anything. So
I actually do want to do more like Broadway type shit. Like I think that's one lane of entertainment I haven't like gotten to see enough in my life. And it really, like, I want to see The Cursed Child really badly, but when I was in New York, it just cost too much money. So like I just didn't pull the trigger on it. And I think it was still at the point where it was relatively new, so it was like selling out every single day and it was just hard to get tickets.
right.
I wish they would take that on tour, like so you could see it in more than just New York. But yeah, I think I actually want to. You guys trying to take a trip to the fucking theater district?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we can hit up New York Comic Con, and go out
Dave.
for a night,
Dave,
check a show.
Dave.
He's
Just
really
saying,
trying to
guys.
swing that one, huh?
Hey, if you guys want to see us at New York Comic Con, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what booth you want us to meet you at.
Yeah, if enough people do that, I will go.
All right.
There you go, deal.
You forced my hand, huh?
Do we have anything else for the year? Because I feel like Wicked's like right at the end, right?
We still have a few more. So we have Moana 2.
Yep.
Don't
100%. All in.
I'm for that.
You guys are GAY, dude.
First move was so
Till we
good.
die.
Yeah. I'm not watching that shit. That'll be the thing that pushes Dante over on the year.
Yeah. Damn. And then we got Kraven the Hunter. I know you've been waiting for that one, Lenny.
Another one. This is like Venom.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be really funny.
It's not a character that I care about. Like, I'm not like super deep into like the Marvel comic stories and Spider-Man in general. And I know the first introduction of this character that I ever heard of was from this last Spider-Man game that came out.
Yeah, I remember Kraven the Hunter in like the animated show when I was a kid, and I
Yeah.
liked him. I do like. Are we still building towards like a Sinister Six? Like, what are we doing here though with like these side stories? Again, for villains, like I just don't
Like,
know.
I'm all for it. Like, I love the idea of having this Sony Spider-Verse, but like you kind of got to start doing things, I think, a little bit quicker, because like, is Tom Holland going to stick around to actually like go against these guys in like a big movie bout?
I think that at this point, Tom Holland's like, what is Marvel doing? Disney Marvel doing, and I'll do that.
Right.
Like, I don't think Tom Holland's subjecting himself to the stink of like, although like he's still doing Uncharted, which is a Sony property. So like, I think he has a good relationship with that side. But it is like, if I'm going to sign up to dedicate 6 months of my life to filming Spider-Man, I'm going to film things that are for the MCU. I'm not filming with Kraven the Hunter and Tom Hardy's Venom. You know, I think that that's the crux here. Where I'm like, again, it's just like that Joker thing of like, to me, in this one, the Joker's going to make money. Like, you're making this to have it make nothing. like Madam Web and all this other shit. Like, why are we doing it?
Nah.
What else?
Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim.
Let's fucking go.
So Dave is tapped into December,
Yeah.
dude. You won't see that man out of the theater in December. I don't know, man. I'll see a trailer and I'll tell you. Is Legolas in this?
No.
Yeah,
Whack.
I'm out. Where's Vigo? Is he showing up? Aragorn? He's not in it? He's Aragorn?
Aragog.
Ooh, man.
That's a spider.
Yeah, it is a spider. Okay.
And then I finally saw the trailer to this Mufasa.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's there. It
Well,
exists. It's going to make money.
Well,
The trailer leads me to believe that they finally have the characters showing a little bit more emotion than they did in the Lion King, but I still don't know if I'll like it.
Yeah.
I mean, what? They made $1 billion, so
Somebody will.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like people are going to see. I'm going to see it. I just like, I'm very much don't care.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be like, I'm going to be watching it and be like impressed for a little while and then be like, all right, I'm cool. You know?
No, it's just a long line of live action animated to animated to live action Disney adaptations that I won't see.
Soon to be Moana.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's coming.
true.
Yeah. Keep that same energy, boys.
I'm with that.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, I really loved the first movie. A lot of these movies that were animated, I loved, but like, I just couldn't care about these live action adaptations. They just don't hit for me.
Yeah.
Realistically, I've only seen one,
Beauty and the Beast.
Mulan.
You didn't see Beauty and the Beast.
No.
If Mulan's the only one you saw, no wonder you have a bad taste in your mouth about these.
Well, I mean,
What's a good taste that he should have? Damn it, Dante.
Well, Beauty and the Beast, for one, you said.
I already
Aladdin
made the
was-
decision based on like that I didn't like the direction that they were going in based on every single trailer I've seen. I don't know how I ended up watching Mulan. I just somehow got subjected to it on the television, but man, nope.
What else are they going to give us from like the Disney classic animated movies live action, you know?
The Rescuers Down Under.
Dude, I was about to
It's just like, I'm going to say this movie every week on this podcast.
my brain went straight to that same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen that. I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is.
Yeah,
Add that
it's
to your
fantastic,
like
dude.
unlimited list that you have over there,
Yeah.
of things you haven't seen.
I don't know if it still holds up, but I love it, dude. Give me also like the Brave Little Toaster. I want to see like a
Just a,
I don't
just
know
a
if I
GE
want that
toaster
live
just
action.
hopping around.
in like an old Hoover vacuum that's in somebody's closet in a blankie, dude. I want to see them in a fucking shop in a little laundry basket going to space, dude.
Oh god.
And that's our movies for the year.
The one other one I want to throw in is Sonic 3.
I still have to see the second one, but I did really enjoy the first one.
You guys haven't watched the TV show either, right?
I have. I watched Knuckles.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't finish that either, but it was enjoyable.
I completely forgot that existed. Where is it?
Paramount.
Oh, well, there you
Jinx,
go.
you'll make cook.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I think they've hit it out of the park, honestly, for expectations on Sonic the Hedgehog content. The movies are like legitimately good, and then Knuckles, it like the bit gets a little stale, I think, over the course of a TV show, but I do think it's funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
the first movie just was good in general, but I went into that with like actual excitement for the sheer fact that like the entire team actually listened to its fandom and changed
Yeah, Sonic.
like the look of Sonic based on fan feedback.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's rare. And like it was absolutely refreshing to see something and to see then the end product of that turn out to look really, really good.
I also appreciate a person the scale of like Jim Carrey, who's not putting himself in a ton of roles, being in this and just being like authentic Jim Carrey. Doesn't look like he's phoning it in at all. Looks like he's just having fun. But he's bringing that energy that like you got from prime Jim Carrey back for these roles, and it doesn't seem forced in like a shtick. It's like, no, he's just still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think the second one's worth watching. I do think the third one's still going to be very good as well. I wonder financially if they're going to start to tap the well dry a little bit on that. I don't think we'll get another TV show Sonic, like, because kind of what we were talking about with Ted. I have to imagine it's expensive to make that a TV show.
Well, they are dropping this on the 20th of December, right in time for like Christmas vacation. So I think they're banking a lot on that.
Oh,
yeah. And I think this is a movie through the first two that has teetered a line well enough that like adults like it and will be into it, but also kids are going to love Sonic. And like now adding in even more of those characters, you're going to continue to like grow, I think, in that front too. So yeah, I think it's going to be successful. I think it'll be good too, honestly.
Yeah.
Let's get into some other stuff that we might have thought was good. Maybe some of it we thought was bad. But in order to do so, I have to ask you guys a question.
Oh.
Have you liked, comment, shared, and subscribed this podcast yet?
Have you done it?
Yeah. No, but the real question I had to ask you guys, are you ready? I said, are you? Sorry. Triple H.
Aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
But do you guys have it?
Do you have it?
Do you have it?
I've always got it.
Oh, okay.
Taste.
Where you at? Where you at, Dante? You weren't ready for that shit? Me and Dave had that.
I did it.
Yeah, fuck.
I did it.
Hey, yo.
Somebody's got to be off key here.
It seems like, Dante, you almost like robbed peace from this podcast by doing that.
Oh my god. You got to stop pre-checking
man.
Watch list.
I hope it was good because I tried to see it, but things happened to me.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see it. I thought about seeing it because I knew Dante saw it, and like it's 2 hours long. It seemed too long for me to go and see it. I wasn't interested enough.
I don't think it's your type of movie
in the
to be
plot
honest.
of like the wrongfully accused person in jail who then his son wants to sell marijuana. Did I hit it on the head?
I mean, yeah, that's the plot of it. But
Yeah.
like,
I'm sure it's good.
it was really good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's basically the basis of it. Is father claims innocent when he gets charged for murder, and the son's like super intelligent and like shows promise of like being like super successful and making it out of the hood. He gets into Yale, but then he's stuck between like pursuing his success or saving his father, and his father is trying to pull him more in like the direction of like get me out of here instead of investing in his success. And it's pretty interesting.
Shitty
honestly.
dad, huh? Selfish dad.
Selfish, I would say. Yeah.
He sounds a lot like Logan Burrows.
Damn.
I'll get into that later.
Yeah, I don't get that reference, but yeah.
No. Where'd you rank it? What'd you give it for stars?
Shit. Sorry, let me pull it up. I think I put it at 3.5. Where is it? Yeah, I put it at 3.5 stars, and I dropped it at 14th.
Dropped it at 14th, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty good then.
Yeah, no, I liked it a lot.
It's upper echelon.
It's right next to unsung hero and origin. Like,
Makes sense that it would drop right in there. Appropriate.
Yeah, it's in that pocket for me.
And you loved Unsung Hero, so it must be really good.
Yeah. I mean, I like the story. I like the way it played out. I mean, it's all based on a real story too. So like, I don't know the actual story to know how accurately they portrayed it to the source material, but like the performances and like the way it played out in the movie were really well done.
Okay.
I definitely wanted to go see this. It just didn't work out for me with my schedule. But like one thing, looking at essentially the synopsis of the movie, do you think this was a good movie theater movie, or do you think this is a couch kind of movie?
I didn't have an issue with watching it in the movie theater. I think, I enjoyed watching it in the movies, but you can also equally enjoy it just as much at home on the couch.
Yeah, I think this type of movie is like a very acceptable. Just watch it when it goes to streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of movies where I'm like, no, that didn't need to be in the theater. Like, you could have sent that straight to streaming, and this one, I'm fine with it either way.
Dave, do you watch anything?
I watched half of one movie, and
Must have been good.
it was not.
That's why you only got through half.
Couldn't imagine how I got that idea.
One Fast Move.
Never heard of it.
It is a essentially motorbike racing movie on
Dante, write it down.
Prime Video.
Oh, so it's a Fast and Furious parody?
Uh,
Anything about racing has to be a Fast and Furious parody.
it's about a dude who does like street racing, gets arrested, gets let out, travels across the country to find his father, who he's never met, who just so happens to be like old
He's the
motorbike racing guy. Yeah. You saw the movie?
Of course I did.
It was
yeah.
awful.
Yeah, no, it's really bad. Most of these like street racing movies are. I think the only really good street racing movies are like
Biker Boys.
Sure, Biker Boys is great. Fast and Furious, Gone 6 Seconds of street racing, but you get what I'm saying.
Torque.
Ooh, Torque's another good one. That one's intentionally a Fast and Furious parody.
Yeah. I gotta write that down.
And the only person in this movie that I knew was Eric Dane, who was like this like roughneck, like he was the father essentially, and like the former pro racer or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But man, no, the whole thing was just atrocious.
What do you think's better? Is it this or Herbie the Love Bug?
I'd rather watch Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Any day.
This is just, it's one of those things where it's so poorly acted. It's bad.
Who's to blame for that? Is it like the budget? Is it the director? Is it the script? Like, who's to blame for these movies that are like offensively terrible?
I think a large part of it is probably the budget. These are all just nobodies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trying to get their start in the game.
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it for movies.
Yeah. I know you've been up in your trailer game.
Yeah. Watched a couple of new trailers.
I think that Dante, did you watch the Y2K trailer?
No. What is that?
I do think it looks interesting. I thought like it's funny because I think the trailer starts as like super bad.
Yep.
And then is just like, no, we're going a totally different direction with this. It goes kind of like, and I saw Jonah Hill produced it, which then it makes me think of what's the End of the World movie?
This is the end.
There we go. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the help. Yeah, it's just like it goes very much in like a this is the end direction.
It was definitely a bait and switch within the trailer. Obviously, like, yeah, it felt like kind of just this high school like coming of age like party moment. Can he not, like, will he kiss the girl type movie? And then, like Y2K happens, and then like I'm excited to kind of see this, and I just want to find out, like, if you guys have seen the trailer, essentially Y2K drops, the entire world's clocks and just computer systems go haywire, and then all of a sudden just electronics start turning into transformers and building killer robots.
Yeah, how does that
and
happen?
Just destroy the planet.
How do they make that like a thing in the movie? Should be interesting.
Yeah, like where do these battle bots just show up and start like lighting fires and drilling?
Is this like a bit they're doing where they're just leaning into like what did we expect back in '99? Like, how bad could Y2K really have been?
No, Dante.
No,
this is an absolutely ridiculous premise of a movie.
Because there was a real concept that like Y2K could have, like imagine Y2K happening now, like with how reliant we are on technology, even versus what it was in 2000. But there are a lot of ramifications that people were worried about with like this, like you have to think stock market, everything is heavily affected by the internet.
No.
So like I understand what we thought it was. This is amplified to like 100 though, where like technology, it's not just technology stops working, it starts fighting back and like trying to kill us.
Okay.
The one other thing I appreciate about the trailer is I think it feels pretty authentic to the late 90s, straight down to like the kid who's playing like the stoner. Like I could have seen Seth Green playing that character in the late 90s. Like I think that like the clothes, the attitude, the music, like they have the whole kind of time pretty well done.
Okay, so as far as a nostalgia piece, it should be interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool for that. And that's perfect for us because that's where I was old enough that I can like remember all of that stuff,
right,
like leading up to it. So I think I will really appreciate it.
And I'll say I think this is the first. I have never seen a Rachel Zegler movie. But this is the first time I've seen a trailer for a movie that she is in that I am interested in.
Dude, I'm telling you, The Hunger Games is worth watching. Dante, agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is really good in that movie.
All right, well, I'll take your word for it. I'll watch it potentially eventually.
It's like I think her and the person who plays Snow are both really good. Also, Hunter Shaver. Just to throw that name out there again.
Yeah.
Had the balls to take the role, and I really appreciated that.
And dude, you can't go wrong with having Fred Durst in your movie.
Dude, so I was trying to figure out if that was a parody on Fred Durst or if it was actually Fred Durst.
Oh no, it's Fred Durst.
I fucked Dante up again, dude.
I just didn't see it coming.
Did you want to talk about Megalopolis again?
Yeah,
or as Dante knows it as
Mega Octopus.
Mega Octopus. So you watched the trailer?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. What did you think?
It looks interesting. The thing is, I know you want to talk about the beginning of the trailer, and the thing is, all these movies that are listed, I think it's like an epic beginning because it's just like, I'm a goated director, you should watch my film.
It's insane. All right, so first off, the actual trailer for the movie to me looks like a giant ball of who the fuck cares.
It's just like it's so much stuff going on.
It insists upon itself.
Yeah, like that a trailer. I'm like, what am I supposed to get from this? And I maybe have to watch it closer because I didn't listen to it. Like maybe they're explaining some of it. But it's also weird for a guy that's like, the movies that they're showing you that he made are all pretty grounded in nature, and then this is like very futuristic sci-fi. And
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of special effects.
Like it looks like it should be a Spielberg thing more than it should be a Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah. But holy cow, the beginning of this trailer is just riddled with like just self-gratification of like,
circle jerking.
Hey, here's like, I'm Francis Ford Coppola. Like, here's all the movies I've done. Here are all the negative reviews. And it just lists review after review after review of Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and I think there was a third or fourth movie in there.
Yeah.
And then it starts off the trailer with like, from the brilliant mind of like, it is absolutely insane.
It's very like, it's definitely a guy who's been in Hollywood like for so long that like he's like feeding his ego a bit by making
it's gross. And then
he's probably a great guy and he works really hard.
And then the kicker to it all of those negative reviews never actually happened.
Oh, really? He made them all up?
They are all real critics and real writers who have since now seen the trailer, and everybody has poured through their work and reviews, and none of these quotes ever happened.
That's crazy. So what did he do it for?
Insanity.
Maybe that has something to do with the movie.
I'm not going to see it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's probably 2 hours and 40 minutes.
And you know,
I can't do it.
For as like well as these other movies have done, never seen Apocalypse Now, never seen a single Godfather. Don't want to, never will.
Yeah, no, actually, funny enough, Dave, we're basically on the same front. But,
Yeah.
I would watch Apocalypse Now, but The Godfather is just not a genre I care about. So I'm cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that like everybody's like Godfather 2 is fantastic, but I'd have to watch Godfather 1 to get there. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cooling on that. Dante, did you see anything else?
Yeah, I also unfortunately put myself through going to watch Skincare.
Tell us about it.
Oh, is that Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah. Don't watch it.
Why?
It's very bland. I don't know, like it didn't, like I guess like the acting was fine. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. The plot is like just not really engaging to me, and just the way it all played out was very poor.
Did Elizabeth Banks make this movie?
You want to look that up? I actually don't.
Or did she just star in this?
So, like, Dante, you didn't like the part where, like, the person comes into her shop and starts telling her how hard he wants to fuck her?
You just wanted to say that to tell me you watched it. Cool.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not great. No,
I don't like... I just don't really... Like, this is going on my list of movies that were just there for the year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, what I was supposed to get from this, because it's not, like... It's supposed to be a thriller, right? Like, it's supposed to be kind of like a suspenseful thriller, because we've seen movies like this done well. But the whole time, I knew exactly who was doing it to her.
Yeah, they made it very clear.
And then, like, she's just, like... And then you're like, okay, so is the real part of this movie that I'm supposed to be latching onto is her paranoia? Right? Like, how she's being driven to, like, paranoia. And
but the problem is, I think they drove the whole movie trying to make it seem like you had no idea who was actually doing it to him.
Well, so I'm on the fence, because I think it was made so blatantly obvious that, like... And you find out before the biggest part of the movie actually happens, right? That I think it's more about her character, like, and there's supposed to be something more there that you're getting out of her. And Elizabeth Banks is, like, fine, but
yeah, I'm not saying like the acting was bad. It's just like
you also
wasn't
have,
any great performance that really was like, oh my god, like
yeah, she wasn't good enough. And then like you have a guy like Nathan Fillion in this who is just like barely utilized, which is weird. You don't know who he is.
No.
He's the news anchor.
Oh, okay.
Who does have one of the funniest parts of the movie, which is like him being like, "Oh, you want your thing to air on my bullshit morning TV show? Like, suck my dick," and like not like saying like suck my dick. I'm not going to do that. No, he's like quite literally like, that can happen. You just need to suck my dick.
Yeah.
And then him going through like the stress of like she recorded the conversation and being like, you need to delete that, which I do like. This is one thing I'll say as its benefit, and this is where I think the movie's more about her paranoia than it is about who's actually going after her. And they could have just done so much more with like all of these different things causing her to be paranoid. Because like there's the thing of there's a character who's following her. And you just assume it's all part of like the plot that you've been watching, but it's really that he hires somebody to make sure that she deleted the audio of him asking for a blowjob. So it's not just like this one person is creating the paranoia for her and kind of torturing her, but it's also like other things that are causing her to be paranoid. And I think that like it just doesn't build in a way that's suspenseful. And then the payoff isn't good enough either. The one thing I do find funny, or at least creative about the movie, is I think it's funny that it causes her stuff to blow up. Like, and it almost makes you be like, was she real? Because you know how like the guy who's actually been like stalking her the whole time, is like, you asked me to do it. Like, at the end, she has a big smile on her face and gets exactly what she wanted out of all of this, which is publicity. Right? Like that was her goal through the whole movie, to where like, are you left to maybe find that she is the one? And they just didn't do a good job of executing this.
I could see a world where that's what they wanted to portray, but they definitely
didn't. They poorly executed the whole movie. Yeah. So I definitely agree. I haven't ranked it yet because I wanted the bit of like, I saw the movie and you wouldn't know. So like I haven't ranked it yet, but I will rank it at some point. It will be fairly low. It's not good.
It's pretty low.
It's not. It's a do not recommend.
Yeah, no. It's 2 stars at 48.
Yeah, so far down the list.
Out of 55. So yeah, pretty far down.
Damn.
I talked about watching Lost last week.
Yep.
I didn't do it. I am, however, on season 4, episode like 5 of Prison Break.
You've got through 4 seasons that quickly.
Yeah, in a week.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. I didn't even know you were watching it.
Yeah, I've watched 4 seasons. Well, I'm in season 4. There's 5 seasons in total, so I'll be done shortly.
And a movie.
Yes, I don't know if I'll watch that though. I do have it on DVD, so maybe I'll throw it in.
That retcons the last season.
Well, that's why I don't want to watch it, because I'm just going to watch straight through to the 5th season, which is like the later one.
Yeah.
And just kind of watch it the way that they wanted it to be seen for the TV series. But yeah, so like I've been watching that. Prison Break still is great. I thought that I hated the 3rd and 4th seasons, but like so far the 3rd season's good. I think the 4th season's probably going to be bad. Michael Rappaport's in it. How good could it be?
Yeah. Once and then I forget, they start bringing in the girl with like the dark black hair.
Gretchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That got
She's in season 3.
that whole storyline with that like
It's good.
agency is really weird.
Yeah, I think they just keep dragging it on and on, like just getting him to the prison and stuff like that. Like, but I like the actual prison stuff in season 3. I like
Yeah.
again, like that's all good. Him escaping, but yeah, like when they get out into the open world, especially in what season 4 seems like it's going to be, and I don't remember it that well. Yeah, it's going to be bad, but I'm going to make it through.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
And not that I don't think either of you guys would care, but I'm kind of doing a rewatch of My Hero Academia.
Oh, nice.
Just
Dante cares.
to get myself back up to speed before I watch the most recent season, which I think should be coming to an end pretty soon. And I just want to watch right through the whole season instead of watching week by week.
And is this like the type of show like One Punch where there's like 1 million episodes, or?
No, I think we're on season 6, and there's about 12 to 15 episodes a season, and they're 20-minute episodes.
Oh, so you should be done with that in a week.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
easy.
I don't sit down and watch like.
What when you play like video games? College football, you just have it on your phone? That's what I do.
No, I can't watch things on my phone.
Oh, dude, I got Prison Break playing while I'm playing 2K.
No, no, that's crazy to me.
That's how you binge watch things, dude.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, teach their own. Just give it a shot.
No.
You'll be more productive that way.
My phone is for TikTok, and that's about it.
Yeah, but then you have to keep trying to like switch the videos while you're playing the game.
Oh well, I don't watch things while I'm playing games. I'm playing games.
This is your issue.
Unless I'm at my PC, and then usually I'll just have YouTube on the side.
But you could just put my Hero
Yeah, but it's whatever I have on the side is just to drown out the voices in my head, and it's not for something for me to actually listen to and pay attention
that
to.
Makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Just learned something about you.
Yeah.
Has anybody
don't
else
cross
been
me.
watching stuff? We got anything?
We
Dante?
did have one other theater visit.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, we did.
Yeah.
Dude, I totally forgot about this movie. Strange Darling.
Yeah.
We saw Strange Darling. Yeah, fuck, dude. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know. We saw an early screening. We saw it probably like 10 days before it's actually supposed to come out, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I liked. I thought that the way that they told the story made it harder to predict, and I also like that the way that they framed the trailer is not what the movie actually is.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they come on, the director comes on before the movie starts and is like, hey, please like share your thoughts on the movie online, but don't spoil the movie for others, and like don't put out spoilers since you're seeing in the early screening. So I liked that.
Yeah, this movie definitely like leans heavily on the twist that it throws at you.
Yeah, and so like the thing with, I won't give away the twist. Well, I'll stay no spoilers on this, I guess, for right now.
No.
But like the twist on it is they tell the movie out of order. So the very beginning of the movie, they're like, hey, this is a true story. based on a serial killer that spans across X amount of.
It was chapters 1 to 6.
Yeah.
And then it just jumps right into
Yeah,
chapter 4. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you start in chapter 4 of a 6-chapter movie. And then it goes to chapter 2. And then it goes to chapter 3, and then chapter 1, and then chapter 6. It just jumps around.
At
in the way
first,
that
it
they tell
seemed
the
like
story.
really annoying. Like, why would they do this? But then
It
makes
makes sense
Yeah.
once you see things play out.
Okay.
So actually, it goes from chapter 4 to chapter 1, right?
Yeah.
Because then it goes from that to chapter 3 to then chapter 2 explains some stuff. And then you get the finale with like chapter 6 or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
But like I thought that was an interesting way to tell the story, to keep you interested the whole way through the film instead of telling it in a traditional way. And I think it makes the twists that it gives you pay off maybe better, because based on the trailer that they give you, it does go completely different than what the trailer would have you perceive. So I appreciated it on that front. I thought the acting performances were really solid from both of the leads too. So for that matter, like I do recommend the movie. Like since it's probably not even out by the time we put this out, I definitely recommend checking it out. It is going to
be out by that time.
Is it?
Yeah, because it comes out on the 23rd.
Okay, so this week. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we had another week.
I mean, like, there's a lot of stuff, like you said, like the order they told the story in that, like, kind of keeps you in that engaged, I guess, and like who are they and what's going on. And then also, like, I think like the cinematography was interesting too. Like they did some pretty interesting like camera angles that I think
camera angles, black and white for some of it.
Yeah.
At weird points too, and just like I like the stillness of some of it. And what I mean is like just the scene in like the car, which you do get some of that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like how that's just like a scene set of two people just talking in a car outside of a hotel.
And they have so many camera angles for that.
Yeah, and it's like a 10-minute dialogue scene. And I think that like scenes like that help this movie along. Yeah. I do think that if you had have told this movie in traditional start to finish, it wouldn't be as good. Because you would have known too much in the way things were playing out. So I think they really just throw you into the movie very quickly, which I liked. And it keeps you like what's kind of going on here the whole way through.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend. I think I ended up giving it 3 stars.
Okay. I'll tell you, like, I don't know where I would say there are things I didn't like about this movie, but I gave it 2.5 stars. And
yeah,
I think
I got the vibe that you didn't like it.
It's not that I like hated it. I don't think I really enjoyed it that much. You know what I mean? Like I said, like there's definitely clever things about it and things about it that I appreciated. But I also think there's just a lot that like missed for me. I mean, like, you know, there's points where like they tried to be like overly dramatic in like certain scenes, you know, the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it just felt like, what the fuck? Like, why are we doing this?
So I actually gave it 2.5 stars. I dropped in at 38.
I also feel like there's just some points of like dark humor that may have missed for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be a divisive movie in the sense that like I think there's going to be people who like swear by this movie.
At the end of the day, like I'm still going to recommend it. Like I say, go watch it because it's definitely a very fresh take on like the genre, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It changes things in a way that I think are ultimately positive. It's just I didn't leave there with a ton of enjoyment, not to say that anybody else wouldn't.
Yeah, I think I left the movie feeling like I liked it more than you did. But I tend to agree. Like, I think that there was something missing from taking it to that kind of like next level. Yeah. And I don't know if that's a tension thing. I don't know if it's like there could have just been more from like there's not like it's definitely a character movie more than it's like a action based movie. Yeah. I feel like.
Which I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but I think that they're like maybe with a little bit more action to it, it would have created more tension in some of like the later parts of it.
But I'm not even sure that lends itself to the style of movie they're making.
That it was trying to make.
And that's why I'm saying like I don't really know what I could say it was missing. Like I can't really lay out a ton of negatives on it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tend to agree. I think I was a little higher on it than you were, but I don't think you're off base.
No.
But thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot we saw that, dude. It's just in the midst of like, we literally saw it a week ago now. So,
Yeah.
Also funny story. Like me and Dante didn't tell each other we were seeing it. And like, I just pulled in the parking lot and he was there.
I had some idea that Lenny was going to see it just based on the seats available.
Yeah. So, that's how it goes for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there's nothing else left to talk about, guys, I think we had a good one this week, dude.
Yeah.
We got edgy again, and I like that. People have been saying the pod lost its edge.
Well, live
They
by
said
the
I
sword,
lost
die
my
by the
edge.
sword.
Yeah, and I haven't lost my edge. I'll still go there when I have the opportunity. You know.
Are you an edger?
Yeah,
Whoa.
dude. Quite frankly, I edge often.
Okay.
Yes. If you are edging right now, stop for a second. Take the clamps off and hit a like on this podcast and drop us comments down below and let us know what you're watching on the side. And then also sub to the pod, please. We'd appreciate it very, very much.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if people will sponsor us after that comment, but if they do, we'd appreciate that as well.
And we'll see you guys at New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Like the video if you
you'll
want to
see
see us
Dave.
at Comic Con
Yeah.
in New York. Yeah, if you want to see us make that trip. If we do, I will be seeing the Cursed Child. That's the done deal. But until next week, tasties, tastettes, we bid you follow do.
Skeet, skeet.
For those with good taste.